All right, we're covering chapter 4. Now, again, I changed it somewhat, and I added some stuff here that I could not find in the PowerPoints. I'm pretty sure it's in the book, but I didn't have the book in. So cover that as well. The new slides are up there. They're called Chapter 4 Updated. So how about, I've got an idea here.
I'm not seeing anything.
I don't see that week at all. So there's no week 5 at all.
Oh, hold on. Let me fix that right now. See, it does. How about now? Are we 5 there now?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. See, by default, it doesn't publish anything. It's a good thing, but I'm just not used to it yet. So my plan is, how about if I don't cover the slides in super detail, since you have the slides, since you all have passed English at this point, you can read them. That way I can get through them quicker. Then I'm thinking Wednesday, if you come to class with your program already started, I can answer questions, maybe help figure things out. What do you think?
And go over the complicated stuff.
Like that idea?
After.
All right, so let's try. Okay, we're going to learn a bunch of stuff. All about loops. Loops are super important. Without them, I mean, it's worthless. I mean, just think about it. You go to Walmart. Can you imagine just driving through the parking lot one time looking for a parking spot? What happens if you didn't find one? If you couldn't go through it again, I guess you'd leave and go somewhere else.
I go home.
So everything we do, I mean, we got Caitlin back there eating a Sonic something or other. Can you imagine if she only took one bite? No. So she's going to continue eating it till it's empty. That's pretty much how we live our lives. We continue doing things until it's gone. Yep, my wife showed me a video yesterday. This donut shop makes donuts like this big, bigger than your head.
I've seen some.
Which person needs a donut that big? No, you don't. You do not need a donut that big.
I don't
crazy.
need a donut.
I don't need it.
But I won't. And then people start eating them, you know. Anyone ever been to Kendall's restaurant in Noble? Really popular. A lot of people go there. I'm going to go there someday. They sell chicken fried steak that's like,
It's 128 ounce or something.
oh,
Like
shoot. They have this challenge. If you can eat the chicken fried steak and the mashed potatoes and the green beans and this and the salad and the cinnamon rolls, it's like free. Also, it's like $25. You know. So, but I also went to Firelight Casino years ago, and they have the Big Bambino challenge where it's like a 5-pound burger. It's huge. Comes with a bucket of fries. You got to eat it in like 30 minutes. I was there for my birthday, and this guy decided to do the challenge, so they set him over. So the dude's skinnier than my pinky. He ate like one little corner. I'm like, dude, seriously?
That's 5 pounds of meat.
This challenge.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's tough.
It's crazy. But he needed to continue to eat until he finished it. But, you know, Kendall's, I don't think a single person, they have pictures saying people have finished it, but they're always posting these pictures of the quitter's box, I guess, where they only ate one little section of it. But I'm going to go there and eat it. I won't finish it, but I'm going to go there anyway.
So you
Go there and try.
for free.
My dad, I think, talks about that too. He wants to do that.
I saw on the news once there was a McDonald's that a special going on, unlimited fries. I'd be dead. I'd eat fries until I
Go ahead and
die.
fill up that paper sack.
Oh, man.
Just give me a second.
So, this all pertains to loops. We continue to do things until we're done, or something happens, or we die, or you find your parking spot, or Caitlin's done with her thing, you know, whatever. Okay, so loops is what all this is used for. Okay, there's some stuff in this chapter that we're just not going to cover. Okay, we need to talk about formatting output. I want each of you to do this. Okay, because you're going to need this today. Well, this week. Okay. Say I'm going to just bring up idle here. Make it so it's not so huge. Okay, now it's even huger. It's huger. Okay. So I'm going to make a variable called number equals 20005.1234. Are you with me? Can we do that? That's pretty simple. Okay. Now I want the output to be 20005.12. Okay, so I could say print number, oops, print number, spell it correctly, and I will get exactly what I entered. I'm assuming you all are following along. Maybe. She's still eating, so I'm not quite sure. Okay, so what if I want to output in a special format? Well, let's look at the top example there. If I say print, this is in your book, percent 0.2f, okay? Oh, not that one, this one. I missed that dude. Okay, percent number. What that does is it tells it to format the output with 2 decimal places. Make sense? If I wanted 3 decimal places, I could go up here and I could change this to a 3. If I wanted 8, I could go up here and change it to an 8. I can change it to whatever I want. We all with me? So no surprises here. The problem is if I'm trying to output money, like, you owe me, what is that? That's $20,000. So I could take this and I could actually put a $sign at the beginning, and I could go over here and put this at 2. Now I have, that's $20,005.12. But how do I get the comma in there? Okay. Now you guys got the answers already on the slides. But with this way, it really doesn't support it. Well, Python has its own method called format, which we can do all kinds of cool stuff with. So now we're going to show you that. I'm going to change this up a little bit, get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, and I'm going to put this dude, brace, colon, 0.2f, okay, dot format, number. Wow, what's wrong? I got something missing. I'm missing something. Oh, I need my thingy here. I need that to be the right brace. There's what I need. Still? It's the keyboard's fault. I'm positive I'm typing incorrectly. So I was trying to get to, but it wouldn't fit on the screen. All right. So now it does the same exact thing. So those last 2 lines I entered, bring it up so y'all can see it in the back. The last 2 lines I entered do the same exact thing. Which one's easier? So who votes for number 1? Who votes for number 2? I said number 1's easier.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's easier. But number 1 doesn't provide the same capabilities. You can't do as much with it. Okay? Y'all agree?
Yeah.
If you don't agree, it's true. So how the heck am I going to get a comma in there? Because obviously that's not how you output numbers, is it? Well, the cool thing in here, you can literally just put a comma. Oh, hold on, go over here and hit enter. You can, now it's on the screen at the bottom. Trying to make it so y'all can see it. You can now just put a comma in there. And now we have our comma. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
What does the colon do exactly?
It basically tells us the format starts here, basically. Okay? Everybody with me on this?
How does it know where to put the comma?
It just tells it to use a comma, and it automatically defaults to 3 spaces. Now, you can always go on this awesome website I found. It's pretty cool. You'll like it. It's called Google.
Whoa.
That's new. I've never heard that place before.
You type Python,
Is that part of the dark one?
format, command. I know, it might be bad. And
It's
I
too
mean,
good
there's
to be
so
true.
many websites up here. You can even go to Greek for Geeks, and it'll tell you some of the different stuff you can do with it. See, it talks about all the different stuff you can do. I mean, there's a million examples of it.
That's new Christian meaning.
That's a new Christian.
You know, I mean, so many. I mean, I literally had a student in my office Thursday or Friday. I can't figure this out for nothing. I said, "What's your problem?" He goes, "I want to do X, Y, Z, whatever it was." So I literally took his exact question, brought up Google, and typed in X, Y, Z, whatever. The exact same thing he said. Hit enter, boom, first answer. He's like, "I never thought about trying that." I'm like, seriously, guys, come on. Have you ever tried Google by now?
I feel like when I'm trying to ask a programming question, I'm not using the correct words.
Well, the best thing to do is start with your language. Python, that would be a good thing to start with. Python, then what you want. And just try rewording this stuff. You know, just so many people, I mean, trust me, I use Google all the time because I can't remember this stuff. You know, I was grading Java this morning, and I went to write Python, I kept screwing that up. And I couldn't remember the exact format command, so I literally typed in Python format command. You know, it's not that hard to do. Okay. So literally just type in, you know, Python, whatever. Now, Python docs are amazing. They give you everything, literally everything. Okay. But the problem is sometimes they don't give good examples. Whereas normally, like Stack Overflow or Greek for Geeks does, okay? But, you know, you got to use all of them. Sometimes the answer's here and not somewhere else, okay? So, everybody okay on how to format your output so it looks like that? You need that. You positively need it this week. If you can't get it, we're going to have a problem. Okay. So any questions on it?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. So it's pretty simple to do. Nothing really detailed there. It just, you know, but the format command is kind of like Python's, you know, added value component of your string class is what it does. It takes strings and gives you so much more you can do with them. Okay. Yeah, and I couldn't find what's in any of the slides, so I added that this morning. Okay. Let's start talking about some loops. They talk about a while loop. Okay. Well, they go into, you know, planning it and how it all works and the syntax and the counting loop. You know, let's make one of these. I'm going to go over here to my thingy. I'm going to make a new file. It's going to be called, what's the date? September 17th. 17 Sep 2018. Python. Got a dash in there. All right, let's open this thing up in idle. Okay, let's do a while loop. And the slides are talking about a counter control loop. Okay. Well, a counter control loop does something until something happens. Okay. Let's try this. Count equals 0. Easy enough. So we have a loop where we're starting at 0. We'll say while count is less than 10. Print. Someone tell me I did wrong. There you go. Good answer. I forgot my colon. What happens if I forget my colon? I hit run. It's like invalid syntax. It even tells you where it is, which is kind of handy, okay? So I fixed my colon. Now what's going to happen? Oh, well, I don't feel like that.
Too bad.
Darn it, I need to. Indenting's such a big deal in Python. In other languages, you normally use braces or something.
I was having an issue where I ended up scrapping it from the program, but I was trying to break out of the program or from a loop, and it kept saying my break wasn't indented correctly, but it was indented correctly, and I didn't understand what the issue was.
I don't know.
Because it was, I put else colon, and then I tapped down, and it's a break. And
So you had an if,
Yeah.
something, else, colon, break tabbed in.
break, yeah.
That should work.
It was like indented it correctly. Indented it correctly. It's like, okay.
Well, sometimes I'll find out that you might have a space. It's like if you might have a tab and a space, that'll cause it to screw up. The easiest way to fix that is bring it all the way back to left margin and hit tab again. Because I've seen that before.
Okay.
So what the heck is going on with my loop?
It's still going.
It's still going. When's it going to quit?
Until
When it eventually hits.
No, it'll sooner or later quit. Does anyone know when? Probably when we run out of electricity.
Yeah.
You want to?
Electricity or the computer could die. But until then, we're probably gonna, I guess they might turn the machines off at night. So I'm gonna stop it by doing a Control C. So this is a counter controlled loop, but I'm checking this, I'm gonna continue as long as counter is less than 0 or less than 10. But what am I not doing?
You're not changing.
I'm not incrementing count at all. So inside here, I need to say something like count. In other languages, just use that. I don't think we can do that in this wonderful language.
Plus equals.
I can do plus equals 1. Or I could also do count equals count plus 1. You could do many different ways. This is what's called a, yes,
What is count plus? What is a plus supposed to do on other?
incrementer.
I put
Yeah,
plus
it's
in-
used in
You can do that. in
nearly
Python,
every
right?
language. Not this one.
I put plus one and it worked. Is it just because it's?
Oh, plus 1? It's the same thing as this. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't support it.
You know how much?
Why now? Oh, it doesn't matter how much increment by?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that. That's a good question. So you're saying this one works fine. Let's try this.
If you put a number.
No.
I would say it does not work. How about if I do it without a space? Now I think we still have a slight issue. So count plus equals 1, should go up by 1. That should, if I did by 2, should go up by 2, so on and so forth. Okay, but you know the problem I got here is it was 0 to 9. I want to see 1 through 10.
You go
You have to do
put
it
the
with
print under.
Ah, I could put the print under it. Okay.
That, or you could just put
Or just
less than or equal.
Or I could have
to.
said count to 1 at the beginning. Or I could have said less than or equal to. But less than or equal to would have still started at 0.
Yeah.
The order or the location of this stuff really matters. Okay. Understand that? Everybody with me here?
That was caught.
But I'll tell you, so many people have an issue with this. You guys can't see your next assignment here, can you?
Okay.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm already done.
No way. Actually visible?
First line is when will I be a billionaire?
Not no more. You can't see it.
No.
Just close it out and it'll be gone. Darn it! I didn't realize it automatically publishes everything below it. That sucks.
Try to click on it.
Print screen. Print screen. Save it.
Yeah, you'll get it here in a minute. You'll get it in a minute. I just don't want y'all working on it at this moment.
Too late.
It's already done. Yeah.
I already said that.
No, if I was that good, I would not be.
You should bring it next week or something too.
Yeah, it's cool and all, but
All right. So, kind of understand the counter control loop. You can do all kinds of stuff in there. What if I didn't want to auto update count? Maybe I want to get input for count. Could I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this. So maybe up here at the top, we'll say input. What is the count?
there's no question mark.
Hey, I don't want a question mark. Fine, I'll put a question mark. You happy now?
I am.
Let's try running this. Let's see what happens. Am I going to get an error? Yeah, I think so.
Not yet.
Wait, just give it a minute. Yes, I got an error. I was expecting.
Because it's a string now.
See, that's, that actually proves a very good point for this. Python's an interpreter. It interprets it line by line. Okay? It didn't know it was an error until it got to the line that had the error. But if you compile the program, like Java or C, they kind of look at the whole thing and then make it into an executable. That's the real big difference between an interpreter or a compiler. Okay? So it's telling me less than, not supported between instances of string and int. What the heck does that?
Means you need to make that an int.
Which line has an error, first of all?
Line 2.
Line 2. All right, let's see if we can't find out where line 2 is. Maybe right there.
What?
See how I did that? Yeah. See, that's pretty awesome, wasn't it? Now, how can I convert this to an int?
INT.
Right here, put like int around it.
Int input.
There you go.
Int
See, I could put it here, but the problem is I also need to have it as an integer for count and all that stuff.
Just don't forget
So
to
I
put-
can actually convert my input, not there.
I was like, it didn't say nothing.
I can actually convert the input. Remember that order of operations, we always start from inside parentheses first. We're going to get input, convert it to an integer, and then save it to count.
If you want a lot of decimals, you can also change the float.
I can do float as well, which you guys will do. Because some of your stuff needs to be floats. We're talking dollars, you want to be a millionaire, you're probably going to have dollars and cents involved. Okay, so now we're going to say 5. Go back in here.
What are pennies?
There you go. What is the count? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Like,
Okay.
5, 6, 7.
Everybody with me? Yes? Maybe? Maybe not?
So far, so good.
What if you put 11?
Less than 11?
No, if you input 11.
Let's try that. That's a very good question. Let's run this, and my count is now 11.
No.
It's already greater than 10. So
It's already greater than 10, so it skips the entire loop. And actually, what we could do is at the very end here, I want to know what the final count is. How can I print out what the final count? Should I do this? Print final count is. I can do this. That do it? What do you think? So I start with a 1.
No.
Isn't it? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it gonna do the same thing over and over again?
It didn't
You
quite.
have to take it out of the while loop.
I got to take it. How do I take it out of the while loop?
Backspace.
Undent it removes it from the while loop. Very good. So we're going to start with 2. Final count. Counter, or whatever. Final count is
Why
10.
am I giving that?
Okay. Y'all getting this to work? You're going to need this.
There you go.
So we can very easily change it. But again, I don't want to do this automatically adding. Okay. Can I get input again here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could do the same thing as at the top. I could type it all again, or I can copy it. I can put the count again. If I copy the input statement down, now somebody entered 5, 2, 4, 8, whatever. Oh, well, my bad. I put something that was too big. Because the moment I enter something greater than 10, it's like, we're out of here. See that? Let's do that again. So any number I enter, but the moment I enter something greater than, or actually 10 or greater than 9,
Oh, I know why, because it's inside the loop, so it keeps.
right, it's inside the loop. The moment I enter something greater than 9, or it's no longer less than 10. So how can I change my loop without changing the number to 11? How can I change it to also, I want to continue while it's, up to 10. I don't want to change this number up here to an 11.
Or you do equal or greater to.
Is it equal or greater than equal?
Very.
Is it this one? Or is it this one? Covered that last week. Let's see. I don't like that. That's the cool thing. I mean, try it. If it doesn't work, my bad.
It's because it's less than or equal to or greater than equal to. It's
Right.
on the right.
Okay, so now if I do 2, 5, 6, it'll keep going. And if I do 10, it's going to continue going. But the moment I do something greater than 10, it tells me my final count. Everybody see this? So we should totally understand counter control loops at this moment, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I don't need to go through all their slides yet. They do all kinds of them. They go over and over and over.
I do have one question. Is there a way to set how much it increments via an input statement?
Well, that would have, again, if I'm getting input, it's not going to increment. It's going to be whatever I enter. I mean, yeah, because it's going to be whatever I enter. Okay, so there's our while loop. Okay. So we're going to continue on. They talk about ways you can screw it up. Infinite loops, we did that already. Did that at the very beginning. If you have a loop that does not increment at all, it's going to kind of die. Okay. So you can look through the rest. And hand tracing them, just walk through. Okay.
I remember.
Okay. Easy enough. Walk through. I mean, there's many. I mean, I can't count the number of times I had to walk through line by line to see what the heck is going on. Tell you, for the last assignment I made you all, when I was making it for you all, my program, I thought, was giving me the incorrect output. So what we did is we made it in Java. No, I'm sorry, we made it in Python. But we took it from C, and we converted it to Python. And I made it for you guys, and I'm like, what the heck, it's not correct. And I thought my actual program that I'm using for classes was wrong. So I'm like, oh man, so I was getting ready to go check, and it turns out mine was correct. It's just that I copied it wrong. Like when I was making it for you guys, I put it in there wrong. Because we were literally getting there to figure out how it should be. Then we bring mine up, like, no, mine was right the whole time. We just copied the darn thing wrong. So, you know. And a lot of times you walk through this stuff, figure out what happens. Okay, so there's tracing. Okay, now let's talk about Sentinel values. Okay, Sentinel values. You're going to continue until a value is met. Okay, it says are used often when you don't know how many times it will go. Maybe you're going to go until someone enters Q. Okay, let's do something like that. We'll call this variable over here Sentinel. Doesn't matter. We'll say A. Really doesn't matter at this point. While count is not equal to, how do I do not equals to? Anybody?
Exclamation mark.
Okay, while count is not equal to Sentinel. Again, obviously it's not count anymore, but we're just going to leave it because I don't feel like changing the drawing. Okay, so now I'm going to run this. And I need to change this.
There it comes.
Enter a new Sentinel value. Okay, we should be good there. And actually, this needs to be count, doesn't it? My bad. Shit. Hold on. Well, no, I'm going to change this up. My bad. Hold on. Not equal to, that'll be better. Okay. Don't do that. So, I'm sorry, Q. I keep changing it, I can't keep up. Well, Sentinel is not equal to Q, so we need to change this to Sentinel. And we're going to just comment him out for the moment, and we're going to comment him out as well. I'm going to change this to say done. Okay. So without running it, does that look like it might work?
Nope.
What am I missing?
Parentheses and the input and
Parenthesis right here. Very good. Do I have one at the end? I have one at the end. Everything else look good? Okay. Here's the count. Well, I should comment that. Enter a new. Oh, wow. Yeah, that one is wrong. I'll say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Oh, I finished. See, I know my ABCs. Get that? I went to school. Just don't know how to spell Sentinel. All right. So you see how a Sentinel value can be used? Maybe you're going to continue until you feel like quitting or whatever, press whatever, or enter 0 to quit or whatever. Maybe you're doing taxes. You're going to keep entering the new value to calculate taxes or enter 0 to quit. Easy enough so far? All right. So that's the Sentinel control loop. Okay. Priming it. Priming just means you can start with something. I mean, we've already done that. Problem, Caitlin? No, she looks confused. Okay. Okay, Boolean values. Okay. We could do the same thing with a Boolean value. Have we used Boolean yet? Let's change it. Let's go with our example here. Let's get rid of the count thing over here. Say done equals false while not done. Now we're going to change this. Not done. I'm going to change this up to say, are you done? True or false? I know y'all caught that. Are you done? False. Uh-oh, what's wrong? Input. Why? While not done. I did false.
Printing the string done.
Yeah, it's probably the string. I need to change it. Can I do that? I don't think I can do that. No, I can't do that.
Well, at the very end, you're just printing done, and not the very end.
Yeah, but it should continue on. Shouldn't even got to there yet. All right, what's wrong here? Maybe I can't get input into a Boolean that way.
Wait, are you saying while not false?
Not false. Okay, let's try it with true.
False equals input.
Either way it ends.
Mine just keeps going.
Does it?
Mhm.
All right, what do you got different?
Counter equals 0.
I believe that
That's
instead of putting Boolean, it's just bool.
Oh, bool. Like that? That might do it. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, it is.
You can switch them.
Done.
I'll tell you what. You all figure out what the hell I screwed up.
It's gonna be false.
What if we go up here and ask this guy, get out. Can we even do that? How do we have user? Yeah, return true, print and valid input. Int. Oh, is this an integer? No way. Let's try that. Where's my darn thing at? Okay, so if we do bool int one or 0, see if that's it. Yes, it works. Always help us figure out. Google knows everything. $0 for false. Question is, could I have gotten rid of the bool? Let's find out. I know. Yeah, could have done that either way. So I really didn't need the bool after all. Could have just converted to an integer. So 1 is true and 0 is false. So. Okay? Isn't that amazing? Google just knows. All right. All right. Let's continue on. So we know Boolean storyboarding. What they're talking about is just trying to figure out what people enter. In other languages, it's called exception handling. Trying to figure out what they're going to enter and anticipating it and making your code. But we're going to cover a whole entire chapter on that. So I'd rather not cover this section right now. Okay? Okay with everybody right now? Okay. Common loop algorithms. You can look through these, come up with sum of stuff. You can come up with averages of stuff, prompt until something is found. That's pretty much what we've already done. Getting a maximum of something, getting a minimum of something. You can have grades example. Now the for loop, that's the one we're going to cover next. This is the one you're going to submit a in-class assignment for today. Okay? So the for loop, we're going to do something until it's done, basically, until some criteria is met. Okay? So let's look at their example here. I'm going to get rid of all this. We're going to say name equals Virginia. Okay? Let's say while, actually, let's do the whole thing like that. Int or I equals 0, while I is less than the length of name. And here I can say print name, comma, I. Okay, I'm going to run that. Let's see what I get. Doesn't seem to be incrementing, does it? Okay, we need to, again, just like we had in the problem in the for, I plus equals 1. Okay. Oh, my bad. We don't need that. Anyone know why we don't need that? Because we're supposed to be working with a for loop, not a while loop. Okay. For loop.
I thought you were trying to find, show us why for loops are better.
Oh. For loops are better. Hold on. For, get rid of this. I in. That's what we need. No, for loops are amazing. So much better than while loops. I hate while loops, but
Yep.
Seriously? Get rid of this. For I, print I. Line 3, I is not iterable.
You took away your thing. You don't have I.
No, I did that before.
Yeah, I don't need that. I shouldn't need that.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
For I in the length of name. That should do it. Oh, that's right. We don't need length in here. That's why. Yeah, you don't need length in here. Unless you're working with a range. Seriously? For I in name. Come on. Print I, name I. Oh, the. That'll do it. Finally. That was tough. I hate that they have both examples on the same slide. This basically says we got a name of Virginia. For I in name, what that means is it's going to go through the name character by character. Automatically does that. We're going to just print out letter by letter. Okay? Easy enough. So that should work for you. You all get that to work?
Mhm.
Okay. I just think for loops are so much easier. They are. But for your homework, you're going to use a while loop. That's what I mean.
So why does I print out Virginia exactly?
Okay, it's going through name, letter by letter. And for each letter in name, it's assigning it to I.
Okay.
So it assigns the V, so we print the V. Assigns the I, prints the I. Assigns the R. We could change I to be, like in their example, letter.
This matters that you put the same thing.
Right, exactly.
Okay. That's
Now
what
it should do the
interesting.
same thing.
Okay. So I's not some all the.
No, a lot of times when I do it, I always use X. I don't know why, I just do. Or count. So that's a real basic for loop. Okay. You can print it out like it has here, but the reason we got the less than sign is because we were working with a string of Virginia, not a number. Okay. And there's a syntax of it, overplaning. Let's see if we can. There's what I want to see. Okay. Let's look at in range. I'm going to leave that one there and say for I in range. No, for I, not in range of 5, print I. Now it should print out up to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So why did I do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Because you always start with 0. It did print 5, do you agree? But it does not print the last value. So if I said in range of 10, it will stop at 9. Okay? They probably say that in here somewhere. And here you could start, but you'll notice in their example, if you can see it, it'll, no, that's not, oh, that's a 6. That's why I said it doesn't print the last value. It starts at the first one. Now we can go into our code here and say in range 5, 50. Now what's it going to print?
5 to 49.
5 to 49. Did it actually print the 5? Let's make sure. Yep, sure did. For Virginia, then 5 to 49. Okay. Then you can also go backwards. Let's go backwards now. Say 50 to 5. Now here we're going to say -1. Let's go -2. Now it should go from 50 down to 5 in increments of 2. Yep, it did. So 50, 48, 46, so on and so forth. Everybody following along? Now the problem I got is, I want to edit that first loop again. It's driving me crazy. It's printing Virginia on a separate line for each letter. How can I make it print it all on one line? This first loop. Anyone got an idea? Someone's got to have a clue. Someone. There has to be a spark somewhere. What if someone gives me the answer? Oh! So what is letter in this example?
Just a variable. Yeah.
It's just a variable. So letter holds the individual letters. Okay? So what if I took that and added it to a new variable? What if I said something like new name letter, and down here I'm going to print out new name. What's that going to give me? It's not correct yet. What's it going to give me? Wait there. And I'm going to comment this other loop out. Don't delete it. I'm going to comment this one out for the moment. What will that print? Should print an A, I'm assuming. That does. Prints an A. Because what it's doing is it said, okay, and letter's a variable that holds the V, then the I, then the R, then the G, okay, all the way to the A. And each time it's taking that letter and putting it into new name. How can I make new name hold all of them?
From range.
No, not that. Even easier than that.
Like new name equals new name plus letter.
There you go. Yep. So now it's going to take the new name and add a letter to it, then assign it back into its own self.
That's going to be generic
Why?
because you didn't capitalize the name and your because you did new name equals new name. Oh, you didn't capitalize the name.
Still probably going to get an error. What do I do? How do I fix this? How do I fix that error? Come on, someone's got to help me.
Define it.
How do you know that? Where does it say that? Oh, right here, is not defined.
You have to put it outside of.
I need to go up here and say new name equals nothing. Now when I run this, it's going to say Virginia all on one line. Isn't that much better?
Yep.
Okay, now I want to do the same thing for our next. Actually, I want to try something. Can I do this? I can. Isn't that
Because
awesome?
that means the same thing.
It's a compound operator, yes.
You should just put print new name, comma, n equals quotation marks.
Interesting.
Where now? Right here?
Yeah. Comma, space, n equals quotation marks.
So that's.
Like that?
Yeah.
What'd that do?
It puts all on the same line, so it's putting in my line.
Well, it was that way. Oh, you mean put this above? Hold on, don't change yours yet. You're not gonna have done that?
Yeah.
It might. Oh, dude, you're a genius. I didn't know that. I literally didn't know that. Very good. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it's funny because actually many years ago now, one of the students says, "Hey, teacher, why don't you know all this stuff?" It's impossible, dudes. Okay. Like when I started teaching Java, I was the very first one to teach. You think there was actually a class in Java for me to take? No, because there was no Java class. There was Python. Who am I going to take Python from? So, but that, wow, I didn't even know that. Very good. Now we learned something. That's too handy. But either way works. I've learned something new every day. So could I do the same thing for print? The second loop, I'm sorry, the second loop. I wanted to output the number, comma, number, comma, number, comma. So let's bring this one back. See, I got all those numbers. I want to put them all in one line. So it's going to print, in this case, 48, comma, 46, comma, 44, comma, all the way down. What do you think? Can we do that? I don't know of any way to do it without, with end, what?
After the print I, put comma ends with, or ends with, quotation mark, comma, quotation mark.
That works. It's genius. Oops. You just saved my life.
Wow.
Aha, but it didn't put it on a new line. Could I say start? See how that's not on a new line? I could just put a regular print statement. And that is so handy. Wow. All right, I love that now. It's my new friend. That's amazing. Did you learn that in this chapter?
I looked it up myself.
Oh.
Google.
Google knows everything.
Wow. Who would have
Well,
thought?
that's what, see, Python has so much
crazy.
stuff in it. It's amazing. It's like, I could not believe when I found the passlib, I'm sorry. No, what is the passlib encryption module? It's amazing. It's like, what the, I didn't even realize that stuff was available. So yeah, pretty amazing stuff. So I'm assuming I could put a space here and I don't have a space in between each one. Oh, look at that.
That's cool.
Amazing. All right, we all learned something. I doubt it's in the chapter. Just haven't seen it. It might be. All right, let's continue on. They got some program examples now. Step 2 writing a loop. We're not going to go through there. Nested loops. Could we have a loop inside of a loop?
Yes.
Sure we could. You could very easily, have one loop inside of another loop. So maybe you're trying to print out this matrix. I'm not going to make you do that. But I will tell you, the very first programming class I took, my teacher's name was Michael Bond. Back then we had no PowerPoints, no computers in the classroom even. It was literally these things. Actually, back then it was blackboards. You'd write on the board, and you took notes on paper, and then you went home and tried to type it all in. And it was exciting. But we had to write a program to simulate a car wash. Every car that came into the car wash, first of all, there's a random number of cars coming in. And we had to keep track of when they came in. We had to keep track of how long they were willing to wait for a car wash. We had to keep track of what kind of car wash they wanted. And when they're going through the car wash, if they've waited more than a random length of time, they drove over our bucket. And if they didn't drive over the bucket, if they were willing to wait, they would eat a bean sprout sandwich. So this was like a loop inside of a loop inside of a loop. And at the end, you had to keep going until you made so much money. That was a heck of a program, let me tell you. That was my very first programming class, by the way. But yeah.
You're
not making you
a teach programming. It's like, oh, here's a whiteboard. Write everything down and then hope you got it right.
Well, and you never did. Then, we didn't have Google back then. So, it's funny because the students always ask me, I couldn't find this on the internet. That's literally the biggest excuse I ever get. Everything you need is in your book, okay, with the exception of this end thing now and the format which I gave you. But pretty much everything you need for the rest of this assignment is in your book. Okay? But so many times people don't even look at the book. Okay. But you can do in nested loops. Nested loops. Okay. And there are some examples of nested loops, hand tracing nested loops. We're just not going to walk through one. Wow, there's a million slides on it. Okay, strings, counting. We've already done counting. Now we could also count if it's uppercase, if it's lowercase. We've already talked upper and lower before. I don't know why they have it in here. It's not anything really new. What they're talking about here is for every character in the string. If it's upper, increment a counter. If it's lower, increment a counter, that kind of stuff. So, pretty simple. You can also count if it's a vowel. You can count if it's a number, if it's a whatever. Okay. All right. If the sentence is upper, so you can do all kinds of stuff. You can also find matches. All right. And they can validate it, make sure it's in the right format. Again, you can walk through this and check if everything's right. But I'm not going to walk you through that. Okay. Random numbers. We need random numbers. This is the part I wanted to get to. Okay. Got 5 more minutes. Okay. I'm going to get over here to the code. I want to change up this loop we just wrote. Okay. We're in our code here. We're going to type in for random input randint. So right at the very top, put for random import randint. That's going to bring in a random number. Okay. So now down here, we're going to change this, and we're going to do randint. Will that do it? Hold on, let me see if that's right. What? Did I spell something wrong? From rand, oh, from. Missing 2 operands. It'll take it, won't it? Fine, I got to give it 2 operands. Let's give it 1, 100. Now let's go 50. How do we do it without it? There you go. What I told it was import random. Random is built into Python. We just had to load it in. But it's not we built in. It's just available to Python. Okay. So that's why we had to import it. Now, in the range here, remember how we had, I think, 50, 5, -2, whatever we had there. Here what we're saying is our range is now going to be a random integer between 1 and 50. That's all we changed on our program. See that? So every time I run it, I should get a different number. I do. Nice, huh? Yes.
Is there a way to make it to where at the very end for the final number, it doesn't do a comma?
Yes, you could do the colon -1, but we don't have time. We're not going to get there.
Okay.
We actually covered that 2 days ago, but we never really did an example of it. You could do that, yes. Okay. You can print out the colon -1. All right. And I think that's more Monte Carlo, and we're not going to walk through the graphics part. And that's pretty much it. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to run your program, get your output, should look similar to that. You're going to submit a screenshot of it.
What if I've done that program?
You already did this? You're good. It's an in-class anyway. Let me add it real fast. It's going to be called assignments.
You want a screenshot?
I want a screenshot, just a screenshot. Screenshot only. This is chapter 4 in class. This was on 9/17. Yeah. Submit. Sub. 2, 4. Submit a screenshot of the 2 for loops we did in class. Everybody understand what that means?
Yep.
Okay, and it's due tonight at midnight. Okay, we're going to publish that. Just a screenshot. If there's anything but a screenshot, you don't get credit. And we're going to do down here. We are going to add class. Now I'm going to open this one up real quick and show you what this does. We got just a couple minutes left. Okay, when will I be a millionaire? I want you to get input for your current balance. In other words, how much money you've currently saved, how much money you're going to invest each month, and what your anticipated annual interest rate is. Okay? You're going to calculate how many years until you become a millionaire. All right? Now, output the current balance in months and years like the example below. You'll see I entered 500 as my initial investment. I did how much can I invest monthly? 500. What's my interest rate? I got it as 5. 5 is 5%, by the way. So you have to figure out how to do the math for that. You're also going to have to figure out how to calculate stuff. You got to do some number stuff here. And then it's going to show you, here's some examples of 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. And if you do it with those numbers, you should get numbers very close to that. Okay? When you reach 50%, in other words, when you're halfway to a million, it should say you're halfway there. So it output 32 years, I was halfway there. Okay. When you reach $1 million, says our current balance is this amount. After 58 months, and you'll be a millionaire 536 months or 44.67 years. Now you'll notice everything has 2 decimal places with a $sign and a comma. And I showed you how to do that today. All right. Now I'm going to real quick stop. Okay, that's the entire thing of the assignment. You got till Monday. By the way, we'll have your all graded by Wednesday. I'm going to stop the recording at this point. And I'm going to stop it here. Now I'm going to